Welcome, Fins fans, to the Inside Leverage show here on Five Reasons Sports. I am your host, Fins Mechanic, here with the great Wally Wonka, the two amigos here for this Tuesday evening show. Wally, what's going on, man? How are
What's
you
up?
doing?
What's up, man? But listen, I'm happier than Tua's tattoo artist. he
Hey, double
don't
sleeved
want to.
up, man.
Hey, man, listen. If you think that boy ain't gonna play, he got two sleeves. But he got a full sleeve and touch up while he was out there just recuperating. But yeah,
Yes, sir.
I feel great, man. It's about time.
And now that Tua is back, I want to make sure to remind everyone to sign up to Prize Pick, the official fantasy partner of Five Reasons Sports. Now that they're legal in the state of Florida, once you sign up and use your first $5 play, Prize Picks will give you that additional $50 to play with no strings attached. All right. So what you do is use the promo code 5, that's FIVE. You get that extra 50, that extra money to make some bets because I do think the receivers for the Miami Dolphins might have a day. I'm just saying.
Nah,
So
don't be telling them about the. You know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying. We made a little something. We back to back weeks, baby. You know what I'm saying. We
yeah,
out here
you know what I'm
winning.
saying? So all the fantasy gurus, you take advantage of Prize Picks. Use the promo code, get that extra money on 50. You can play and you can get it started, man. Let's get started, man. So roster moves for the Miami Dolphins as of today. We've signed quarterback CJ Beathard and wide receiver Tyreek Black to the practice squad. And it looks like we released Hayden Rusi, the tight end. I think he's from Iowa. I don't remember. But yeah, man, that's the current roster moves. Wally, just want to get your thoughts real quick on that and what
Do
you
these
think about.
guys do they have to play or they're just practice squad guys?
I mean, it's since
Are they on the 53 or they're just
no,
roster?
these are roster practice squads. So we got the extra quarterback because of the injury to possibly Huntley. I'm not
I
sure
don't
what
mean
the
nothing. I
severity.
think the CJ. Yeah, that's probably what it is. I don't understand why you're getting rid of Rucci. Uh, I mean, I don't think you had to bring back another wide receiver unless Malik. I mean, it's practice squad guys. You never know what you got there.
Right.
But
With the Barrios being on IR, maybe
yeah,
that's
but
the insurance. So you know what I'm
I
saying?
mean, this guy's more like he's more prone to be a camp body. So that I it's a little bit. And shout out to the homie Fox. He
Nope.
mentioned it. Fox. He was talking. He mentioned the fact that how is CJ Beathard not on this offense before Tim Boyle? Like, what are we talking about? CJ Beathard almost beat us with Flores running the same scheme. So that's the only thing I see about CJ Beathard. I think he's a better option than Skylar Thompson. He's a less mobile, but Skylar Thompson's trash. But from those moves, that's how I view those. I was wondering if you wanted to talk about moves you want to make or should we not make.
Well, that's gonna depend on a lot of things for me. But if we had to make a move right now, I would go with the pass rusher. I think that as far as simulated blitzes, I think without a pass rush, we've been successful at so far. Shout out to Weaver, but I do think that there's going to be times where, as a defense, you can't blitz all the time because the quarterback just combats it, or we need to have more coverage in the backfield. So you're gonna need those four guys to win their reps. So if there's one position I would trade for right now, it would be a defensive pass rusher. I don't know what you guys think.
I mean, Chad, you want to go ahead since you got here?
Oh yeah, sure. I think pass rusher is a great one. Right now, we know that we do have Chubb coming back though, so maybe they could look at that as essentially adding a pass rusher to the current situation. We did sign Tyus Bowser. I know he hasn't necessarily hit the ground running, but maybe as he gains comfortability, that can improve as long as he stays healthy. He is very talented. I'm not sure if they wouldn't be inclined to add something else either at that position. I think that's a good one. I think that if there's an opportunity at maybe the tight end position or maybe DB, maybe you could look there. I know Cooper Cup is out there and possibly some other guys that possibly ate something at wide receiver. Outside of Cooper Cup, who probably they're looking for like a second round pick. Maybe you can get him for like a third or fourth or whatever. And if they eat some of the salary or something like that, maybe you can work something like that out. But he's very injury prone. So, but he does have familiarity with the scheme, and I think he could help. But it kind of be a little bit more of the same of what you kind of have, but you don't have a guy like Cooper Cup necessarily. But is he going to stay healthy? That's talking about as far as that part. Like that's a risk. So I don't know if that's something like that would make necessarily any sense. So I mean, there's not necessarily good linemen out there. You know what I mean? Running backs were set. I mean, maybe a DT or something like that. Maybe a defensive, like an interior D lineman for the low or something like a low 5th, 6th round pick to try to sure up your depth. We did lose Jonathan Harris off the practice squad. You saw they worked out some guys.
Yeah, I
You
was
know what
just
I
about
mean?
to mention it after. Yeah. Well, so they worked out. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, go ahead.
Shaquille Brown, Matt Dickerson, Jalen Gill, Christian Hill, Shedrick Jackson, and Jaray Jenkins. I don't know if any of those guys are familiar to you, Chad. What are your thoughts on them?
I'm not necessarily familiar with any of them, but it looks like a bunch of DTs as I'm looking. Trying to go through the names now. I know Shaquille Brown and Matt Dickerson are definitely defensive tackles. Jalen Gill, I'm not necessarily familiar with either. Have you guys heard of any of these guys?
No, I was gonna do some research after, but yeah, this kind of just popped up, so I don't even know. Majority of those guys.
Jalen Gill's a wide receiver. He played for the Chargers. He's actually from Fresno State. Okay, cool.
I've
6
the
feet,
only
185. Seems like maybe another speedster.
the only guy I probably heard of was probably Bill. Those nothing there screams out anything. Right. They clearly didn't add anything because they just signed Tariq Cohen and all of those guys. So or whatever the name was, so the guy we added to the practice squad. I want to spin the block on the key addition, any addition. I think I would try to go get Myles Garrett. It sounds crazy, but you're walking away from a Chubbs. You might get a team-friendly deal on a Jalen Phillips, given the fact that he has an injury against. So you might, you know what I mean, you could end up having a Chop Robinson, Myles Garrett front going forward. I'm with that. I'm really with that. I'm with that. I think that helps his team tremendously if you get it together. But or Landry or something like that. And like you said, maybe get some DT help. I pushed back on your likely talk because you want to trade Holland for him. But if you could trade a pick for likely, I'm with it. So
you don't want me to start. You don't want me to go there.
I'm not trading Holland for anything. I'm not trading Holland for anything. I'm not trading Javon Holland for anything. I'm not doing that.
I'm gonna leave it.
I'm not. So don't even start. Why you even gotta mention it?
You said it. You brought it up.
Talk about it. Why you gotta talk about it?
You brought it up.
Well, Wally, a question for you I got then. What is a likely a trade value you're giving for Myles Garrett, given that possibly he's an elite pass rusher. He's older and the contract.
If you want a second, you give him a second. You give him a
he's
second.
26. He's 26. He's not older.
You give him a second and make him the highest. You make him the highest paid defensive end, and you go to church. So you got to do. So you get the same thing we do with Bradley Chubb. We essentially do the same thing we do with Bradley Chubb.
Oh, he's 28. I'm sorry, 28. I apologize. 28.
He's arguably the best defensive end in the league.
Is his contract something that
it doesn't matter because you would have had? It doesn't matter because you were willing to pay Bradley Chubb for which is a lesser entity, a lesser talent. So why not pay for the top dog? Or if you don't want to go crazy, go get Landry for the Titans.
Yeah, that could be something a little bit more,
more feasible. Yeah. My
possibly.
whole emphasis is like, and a shout out to OG, he brought me to this point. And I've given pushback in the group chats about the simulated pressure and stuff like that, not getting sacks, but you're playing Kyler Murray. You see what happens when they don't sack a guy like AR. They break the pocket. They get in a first down. When the defense plays two amazing first and second down and third and 15, you have him dead to right and he breaks out because you don't have a sack master. You know what I mean? We need that. The team is lacking that. The ability to sack the quarterback and give him that fear. We don't have that. And
I don't know if Chubb can be that right away for us.
I was about to say that. And Chubb has not been that guy since he got here that
Not
installed
necessarily.
fears. So to me, you get a Myles Garrett. She boy, look at him.
I mean,
we need that. We need something like that. Even if it gets, we get it from top bidder on Camaro, but we need sack artists, bro.
Let me say this. Let me see. I can say this. I think if there's success, because let's just have a real conversation right now where we're at as a franchise. We're teetering on expectations, but we have a chance to get back to 4-4. We know what that we discussed that. It's wide open for us. The team is talented. You got Tua coming back. But if let's just say things were to go bad or Tua to get hurt or whatever else could happen, this team could be in a position where maybe even regardless of Tua's health or not, even if he does stay healthy, maybe the team looks to acquire a high caliber number 2 quarterback this somehow, some way, whether a veteran or maybe you try to get one of the top quarterbacks in the draft and you just have him as a piece. You know what I mean? Regardless of what happens with Tua, maybe that's something that they want to pursue and maybe they want to have the capital to do that. So I'm not sure if they'll just be gung-ho to do that without some assurances first. And I think I don't necessarily know if you could get any assurances, but maybe you can get some more clarity on the potential of the team if you can beat the Cardinals, go on to Buffalo, and at that point, maybe it's a different conversation, a different feeling in the building. You know what I mean? And then maybe you can entertain some things like let's pour some gasoline on it. But right now, there's a lot of questions about things, and I don't know necessarily how they feel.
They have 2 weeks.
But if you can seal up these next 2 wins, go into Buffalo and get one. We know how Stephen Ross is. Remember that when Joe Philbin's that last game of the season, when we won that last game of the season, he was in the locker room. He got into his feels, and we know how he gets about winning and how it feels good. And I think that there could be a green light on a move like that. You feel me? If we were to, have some success, the corner, and put us in position where, okay, the season's back alive, everything's going good. Now let's see if we can maybe get something to put us over the top, maybe a little Harold Landry or something, or maybe something light. Maybe it's not something super significant, but I don't know where they're at as far as making a trade because it seems like they're trying to still try to scout and find a little come ups, working out guys here and there. So I don't know. What do you think on that though, Junior?
Yeah, I was talking about that with OG and Wally and even Peasy. Shout out to Peasy. I think they want to evaluate where to like what you mentioned. Evaluate where to is at. Evaluate where the team is at. And I predict if we win 1 out of the 2 or 2 out of the 2 in these next 2 weeks before the deadline, they're gonna try to be aggressive to make adjustments or some type of adjustment to say, okay, we won specifically in the Bills game, but this is what's missing based on what we saw. So I think that Bills game is gonna probably be key to determine what we do the next in that trade deadline. So
to your point, you said 1 out of 2. So
right.
Are you because I know you're kind of saying you're kind of already feeling not so good about Buffalo next week.
Right.
If the team is super competitive in that game, right? I think it kind of that sentiment can kind of reign true. Like, okay, maybe we're this close, right? Like the first time we got blown up, but now we are right there with them. We went into Buffalo, a tough environment, And even though if we may not even win that game per se, if it goes down to the brink, maybe one possession game or something like that, and it was close, maybe then there's that same feeling.
Right. We have to win one out of the two in this game. If we don't, even if we lose to the Cardinals, and if we win the Buffalo, I think they'll make the aggressive approach and find something. Hey, this is what we're missing. But if we're 0-2, I don't know how likely the trade deadlines. It's gonna be real hard. We're already gonna be 2-6 at that point, right? And it's gonna be
You're
very
more
hard.
likely to see a guy moved than acquired, probably at that point.
Exactly. So we gotta win one out of two, if not both games. It's possible to win against the Bills, but I just don't see it right now.
Dog,
So
look,
but we'll talk about that another week.
The
1 week at a time, right?
We could talk about the Cardinal. We can move forward to the Cardinal game and talk about when we move forward. But if your team, if you gotta, you know what I'm saying, if you showing some fight, you gotta go get them what they need. Like if you see your team needs something, like, and I ain't gonna hold you. I think I wanted to ask you, how much does Tua masquerade some of these flaws? Because
A lot.
if we get Tua to maybe complete and get us, let's just say 3 to 4 more first downs, that's time. Let's place for the defense, field position, less stress, less exposure to certain things, less advantages for the other team. So I think to make a crazy move just yet, you might not do it. So I think these 2 weeks will help you see what we got in order to make a rash decision, such to make a move or to be buyers or sellers, because Tua could be balling out and we just suck, and maybe we just need a better. You know what I'm saying? It's not Tua's fault, and maybe it's not fixable. So you said, as you have a bunch of picks, you can revamp this team.
Even if you win the Cardinals game convincingly, you want to see, okay, you have this momentum. This next step, we should go get someone now to combat the Bills, because we're riding high with our defense, and with our offense and our team, and the defense just missing that one piece. Like, there's so many ways to go about it.
Buda Baker does it. I think Buda Baker. I think if Buda Baker, I think we're watching Buda Baker play us this week.
There's a lot of guys I wouldn't mind getting from the Cardinals.
Buda Baker, bro. Look, I said
would love that Buda.
With all due respect to Poyer, you bring Buda Baker and you save Poyer's life by putting less on his plate, and you make him a specialist. Buda Baker helps Devon Holland too, like helps the linebacking core. Like, man, listen, that's a little piece, and you get that for a fifth. Get that for a fifth for the fourth. You feel me?
I mean, listen, Buda is a guy who, to me, could make a lot of sense for us, but he's expensive, and I'm not sure if they'd be willing to spend at that particular position based on his history, Chris Greer.
And
I don't know if a big time safety is something he would do. Corner,
but let me ask you a question.
DN, wide receiver, he has done. I don't know.
But look, if we get something like the Cooper Cup situation, the team is willing to help out the player. She would, like, you know what I mean? If we get that type of situation, I'm with a Buda Baker. But
so the Arizona takes on some of that salary.
Yeah. Some like we need to help this. I think the defense has been playing so well. I don't want them to hit a wall. So either we get Bradley Chubb and reinforcements, and Cam Smith and Tua help them out some way somehow, or add something to it for they could have like top play for you get some out of it. Because I don't want them to burn out by when the offense is clicking per se. We need the defense to step up. I don't want to see our soldiers falling down like it always happens. Because
I will say this right now, we have the number 2 defense in the NFL, number 1 passing defense, number 1 on third down, right? Like without Tua, but the people
without our
DMs, you haven't played good quarterbacks, which is valid, right? But even the game against Josh Allen, That's probably was one of his worst games against the Dolphins and his entire career statistically.
Mm-hmm.
If we go back and look at what he did in that football
It was
game,
Cook. It was Cooks.
like
It was
it
Cooks.
wasn't necessarily it wasn't necessarily Josh Allen per se in that football game that did major damage against the Dolphins. It was mostly those big timely runs by James Cook, and there was that one big play by Ty Johnson. But outside of that, I'm looking at the numbers here: 13 of 19, 68% completion, 139 yards, and a touchdown. For Josh Allen, that's come on. Like, let's be real.
That's
If I
usually
told you
a
we held
quarter
Josh
for him.
Allen to under 139, 104, under 140 yards passing and one passing touchdown, bro.
That sounds like
what would you say to me?
a
Like,
quarter for him.
and we got blown out in that game.
Bro.
And yes, they didn't have to do much because there were some turnovers that put them in scoring position or scored, and the pick six and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? That really did hurt. Yeah, Manny backstage. Shout out to Manny.
It's facts.
They're backstage. Those picks hurt us in that game.
Every interception that he threw, we were on the way to rectify our errors. You know what I'm saying? Like, correct our wrongs, interception. Correct that, another interception. Pick six. We started the third quarter with a pick six. No, that was Tua's arguably worst game in like football history, dog.
But what I will say is, and I'll kind of like Euro step to what McDaniel and his presser. I don't know if you guys end up watching it. I do like what he mentioned about doing whatever it takes to win, even though Tua is here. So it felt like to me that he is probably going to continue running the ball and taking the advantage and using that to take advantages, opening up the passing game.
And he also said, my bad, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead. I'll say.
I was gonna ask you. I don't know if you guys agree with me or what have you guys? What did you pick up from that?
He said that again in different words when he said you don't want to throw everything at Tua, so you want to keep it stupid simple type stuff. For that means run the ball. And the segment of ESPN talking about Tua, they said that we've passed in the past 4 games without Tua. We passed for 100 yards once, but we ran the ball for over 200 yards, which is you add Tua to that. Let me get 225 and 200. What we doing? You're not losing no game, dog. You're not. I don't care who we play, bro. If we take this running game and this attack with Tua, bro, I promise you, this 1-3 team without Tua, you take the same game plan with Tua, I guarantee you Tua's 4-0. So if Mike just does that, bro, if Mike does that and we lose, dog, I'll hold my head up high because that's a game we supposed to play. You feel me?
Yeah.
Let me see those type of games.
I agree with you 1,000%. Tua wins all 4 of those all the 4 of those games. The fact that we didn't have Tua, right, with the same game plan. The fact that we had that game plan tailored to the other guys, they weren't able to quite. Tyler Huntley had one good game where he kind of showed a little something, and then last week he kind of regressed before getting hurt. He was kind of getting hesitant, happy feet. He was double clutching, pumping, like bro, pause. But anyways, like overall, like I just feel like we're at a point where McDaniel should understand what he has, the luxury that he has, and having a Mostert, an A-Chan, and a Jalen Wright, and he really can just really find a way to lean on that. And even with I know we're just really talking about the running back game, but like Jonnu and Jalen Wright have been the bright spots through it all, through this 4-game losing streak, bro. Well, not losing streak, but 3 games losing streak, whatever, or 3 out of 4, whatever it was. So, like, you know what I mean? So, yeah, bro, like.
What's going on with Jeff Wilson, man? Is he like not available?
I think it's the emergence of Jalen Wright and what he's done. The man was a healthy scratch this last game, so that
I would have given that handoff to Jeff Wilson. How about that? How about that?
Nah, I would have just gave it to Jalen Wright. I would have gave it to Jalen Wright.
But I'm saying if you're going to take it away from one of the running backs, give it to one of the other running backs.
I'm cool.
'Cause, look, I ain't gonna hold you. Those running backs, believe it or not, and what I seen from Jeff Wilson this season, the limited, I would have handed him the ball before I handed Ingram the ball. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying give him the ball. But if you're gonna take the ball away from Jaden Wright in that situation because you want to go with like maybe the bigger bag or whatnot, because you don't want to go with Monster or Watching, give it to Jeff Wilson.
So do you think we do 4 running backs this home game?
Why not? Why not? Why not?
I don't know.
Why
I don't know how realistic that is.
I know why not, but will McDaniel do it? That's my thing.
Bro, listen.
I don't think Jeff Wilson helps you enough on special teams for you to be able to do something.
Well, hear me out. Why not? Hear me out. Y'all might disagree, and I will definitely hear your points. Okay, let's sit Julian Hill. Let's sit Julian Hill and let's have Jeff Wilson and all that extra plays. Give it to John Smith and all the say you give it to Alec Ingold. Make Alec Ingold a blocker. You're not gonna handle the ball. Make him a blocker. Yes, I would do that.
No,
because Julian ain't doing nothing. He's missing blocks. He ain't doing nothing for you. What?
That's not true.
So you telling me you need Julian Hill on this field? I've seen people clamoring for this man to get released. He talking about what?
That's fine, but go watch the film. Go watch the all.
Jack, can you talk to this man, please, bro? Or you talk to
me?
You
let me know, Chad.
I don't know, dog.
You let me know, Chad, because Julian Hill is getting better. And
Durant Smythe, whoever it is, we don't need both of them.
Okay,
there you go.
That's a good point. What do you got? What do you think? What do you think, Chad?
I think he makes a compelling case. I don't know if I would necessarily make that case for Jeff per se to be added over those guys.
If you're gonna run the ball, if the whole point is to run the ball and to have fresh running backs, why not? If that's the whole emphasis, Chad, if the whole emphasis and to keep A-Chain as a weapon too, why not?
Here's my thing. Here's my thing. Here's my thing. You're gonna need two tight ends anyway. If you don't even want to bring a Smythe or Julian Hill, one of them has to be here. And from what I've seen, it feels like Julian Hill is a little bit of the better side than Durham Smythe. Now, Julian Hill has his issues, the penalties. There were some ticky-tacky calls on the blocking. Let's be real.
Those low blocks.
It's a bit a couple ticky-tackies. You know what I'm saying? So you're gonna need 2 tight ends and a fullback to continue to get this a running game going. It's because of him and Jonnu and Ingold that this running game is excelling. But I agree, you gotta get one of them. You gotta let one sit and the other play. I agree. I just don't think it's Julian Hill.
Let me hold on. What do you guys think about potentially adding a David Njoku?
I wouldn't mind. I'll do it.
Would you do something like that?
For fifth?
I'm not.
He's probably worth it more.
Oh, he got a bag though. He got a bag.
Oh, he did get a bag.
He got a bag.
I wouldn't mind it.
He got a bag, bro. I had this argument too early. I'm like, bro, he got injury prone, and he got a bag.
Is he injury prone?
Not injury prone, but he got injured. Injury history. Yeah. You know what? He is injury prone because he plays these games, but he has these nagging injuries that he's absent in the games. Okay, you know what I'm talking about? He's there for games, but he's just there for the vibes, dog, because he's not available. Because
he had 81 receptions for 882 yards last season and 6 touchdowns. Like, I think we could use that kind of production.
Yes, I agree. But we know
what he is because we watched him at the U. We know
exactly. So we already look. If we didn't have John, I'm with you. But if you told me likely. He could block. He does both because when Andrews was gone, like likely was the first. He was there. I'm with you there. I see the vision there, but not on him. Not on that.
Joker can't block.
Not like. He looked like a physical specimen, but he don't block like that.
He's not like that. He's not that guy.
Like he looks. Yo, he don't
What-
he don't he don't look like he blocked though.
What about Aziz Olajari
Yes.
or what's the other guy I saw?
Uche.
Sorry.
No.
I saw Uche's name. I saw Uche's name out there.
Chase Young. I saw it was Chase
No,
Young that could
I
possibly
don't
be
know,
a
man.
relevant.
Chase
Young?
Young look like he's been
We
struggling.
know but we know Chris Greer, low risk, high reward type
Bro,
chasing, gambling.
The head
He
coach, he's a
little
Saint right
six.
now. The head coach from the Saints is the defensive guy. He can't make it work with him.
You got Dennis Allen over there, correct?
Give him a low pick. I
No,
mean, I agree.
we keep circling the wagons, dog. Just
You said OGs.
go get Landry. Go get Landry. He's there for the taking. Go get Crosby. It'll be easy to get Crosby.
Oof.
And Crosby could play. Crosby and Campbell will do the same things.
Man, hey, listen, I ain't gonna. I like a little man Crosby now.
Hey, you want to cook? We gonna cook with something now. You want to listen.
Well,
as I'll give him a contract too. Hey,
listen to the front office. If you're listening, I don't know if you watch the show or not. Who knows? But if by chance somebody's out there watching this, right?
Max Crosby.
If you want to get the fans back in, something like that. A Max Crosby, a Miles Garrett, or something like that. You want to revitalize the season ticket holders? You want to see that money pouring? Listen, do something spicy like that. You can get some people back in, especially if the team starts to show signs of life. Let's say theoretically get back to 4-4, and we can add a player like that, and it can have a significant impact. Do you understand what that could do for us as a whole, as morale, everything overall? That could change things. You know what I mean? So
listen, and for those who's gonna mention about, what about the contract? What about Chubbs? Let's worry about all that after the season.
I ain't trying to hear that.
If they can figure that out, they're not gonna make the trade if they can't figure that out. We don't need to worry about that.
Exactly. That's just how I feel. You know by now. I know people don't like Greer like that, but you know with the collaboration of Brandon Shore, if they make a move like this, that means they can make it work.
Dog.
Just saying. So I don't think anybody should worry about anything about pay, about cap and all that stuff. They've been cap wise, we've been pretty good.
Bro,
If
do you know how
anything
many
else.
people come off the books next season? T-State comes off the books. There's a bunch of people come off the books. We don't worry about none of that. David Long comes off the books. We ain't worry about none of that. Like, if you make a move like getting Max Crosby, you're showing to this team once again that Stephen Ross is the guy that puts his money where his mouth is, and that's what he always has done. And it shows that the team is still in it to win it. I'm telling you, bro, you can make the playoffs at a 9-7 out here, 10-6. You can make it. It's gonna be easy. Look, you got to understand right now that you have to set the mentality that you're not gonna have a home game in the playoffs. So that game at Buffalo is setting the mentality that you can win big games on the road. So you got to go win at Buffalo. You win at Buffalo, cuz you at Max Crosby. Oh.
Well, before that, we got to definitely beat Cardinals, and here is the quickly injury report for the week 8 matchup against the Arizona Cardinals. We have Tehran, looks like Calais. They're both rest, so they did not practice. Right. That's a good sign. Armstead,
that's expected. Expected.
Armstead resting, no lingering injuries, nothing reported on that. Looks like Storm Doug has a ankle injury. He did not practice as well today. Tyler Hunt, Storm Doug.
Who?
Storm Doug. He's gonna come back. He should be fine. Tyler Huntley, of course. McDaniel said he's likely that he'll be playing or being at the game, so he did not practice as well. Kader Kohu, the last 2 weeks rising star, has a neck injury, did not practice today. And then nah, man, you can't say that. You can't say that. We're gonna talk about that another time. And then you're limited.
Liam?
Well, I was gonna get to that. The limited are Liam Eichenberg with shoulder injury, Javon with the hand, Emmanuel Ogba Tua, of course, and Jalen Waddle with the quad. They're all limited practicing today. I think all of them will be fine. We'll see how it goes Thursday practice, but the limited guys, I think that's just a precaution to get them ready for Thursday, and Friday. Specifically Thursday. I'm sure they're private practice, right? So they'll probably get going there, but they should be fine.
Tomorrow's a pattern practice. Friday's
right.
Installs.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, specifically for Thursday because it's a private practice. But the list for the injuries are not bad. So majority of those guys come back, and then you got your limited guys who are probably going to be practicing full.
So for the Cardinals though, Darius Robinson, he's listed as a personal calf. Sean Murphy bunting neck, also DNP. Christian Jones personal, not injury related. It's saying Dennis Gardeck, linebacker, DNP, and Roy Lopez at DL, DNP.
Hey, you know that defense is solid, right? The defense
Who's
is solid. They're the Cardinals.
I guess based on what you would consider,
they haven't allowed 100-yard receivers like that. They haven't allowed pass catching like that. They get torched on the ground. So I hope Mike once again.
I mean, statistically, they're not very good at all. I mean, they're 27th overall, allowing 386.9 yards per game, 236.9 passing yards allowed per game. That's 26. 139.6 yards per game. That's 26. 25.4 points allowed per game. That's 24th.
And they're bad at all of that, and they still have good games.
On third down, they're the worst third down defense in the NFL at 48.1%. That's probably an indication that teams are running it well on first and second down.
I told you their running game is atrocious, but their passing game is not.
I mean, if Sean Murphy Bunting is out though, that's a big injury for them.
Who's the linebacker they got that we wanted? Who's that linebacker that they got? The
Oh, you're talking about the versatile guy.
Yeah.
I don't even know if he's there. Is he there anymore?
Yeah, bro. What's on his name?
You talking about Zach?
Isaiah Simmons? Is that who you're referring to?
No, he's not.
No, you mean
Collins?
Kaiser White?
Nah, dude. He's the big ass linebacker dude, dog.
Xavier Collins. He's now a defensive end for them, outside linebacker.
Wow.
Xavier Collins. Yeah, Xavier Collins.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got LJ Collier and Xavier Collins over there. Yeah. Mac Wilson and Kaiser White at linebacker. Julian Aquara. I always like Julian Aquara.
Yeah.
Kind of a little bit of a underrated guy. We talked about Buda Baker, of course, earlier in the secondary.
They made him a defensive end, dog.
Yeah, outside linebacker.
Even, yeah,
right, outside linebacker. I mean, he's been pretty decent. He's not great, but he's gonna be going against Teestead, and then you got Oko. How you say it? Okorora? Yeah.
No, I think he's on the. I see him listed here as a left.
Okorora's a left. They put Xavier at right. According to PFF, I don't know if.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So their interior is not good, but bro, when I saw the game on Monday, they really played aggressive. Like they were playing like their hair was on fire. So their coach always speaks about the mentality of being a violent, aggressive, and running to the ball. So we'll see if we can match that energy at home and show them that you're not gonna dictate the line of scrimmage specifically for that offensive line. So
wasn't he the Eagles' former defensive coordinator?
Right. Yep. So I posed that question. I was like, hey, will he come with the same defensive mindset he did with the Eagles when we played him what was it, last year? I don't know if he will or not.
2 years ago.
2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they don't have the same personnel like the Eagles do, but they sure do play like aggressive defense, trying to get after you. You know what I'm saying? So,
man,
We'll see.
Enough for that, man. You know who's back though. You know who's back. Who was back? You know what he say? He's not wearing that damn cap, son. I ain't gonna hold you. I seen some players playing with that cap. It looked ridiculous, man. I'm glad he said he's not playing with that, and I'm glad we got the facts that says that his helmet is more safer than actually one of them stupid ass caps. So, messing with it.
I mean, at the end of the day, for me personally, I would rather he wear the cap. Personally, that's just me. I mean, I don't speak for anybody else in that. That for me personally, I would rather he just put the Guardian cap on and play. I don't care if it looks a little funny or whatever. I'm not sure what exactly his reasonings are or whatever for not wanting it. Maybe he feels like he doesn't want that to be, like a crutch or maybe something on his mind that kind of reminds him of this. Like, I don't know what exactly went into that or whatever the case may be.
Maybe he got good information.
I mean, maybe that is right, and again, I'm not as informed as Tua is on the decision to do it or not because he's met with people, he knows what technology he's using, he knows all that. I'm sure he's had to run down his agent and everyone. I'm sure there's so much money involved. They're done their due diligence in that regard, right? So he probably made an informed decision. So for me, regardless of if he had it on or not, that wasn't going to be the thing to stop anything from ever happening again. What's going to stop anything from ever happening again is him playing smart.
Yeah.
Not necessarily careful.
Not careful, playing smart. Doing the right thing. Doing the right thing. Yeah, slide.
Smart. Slide. If you can avoid contact.
Bro,
you don't have
to
another
day, bro.
Go into the contact. You can kind of fade away from the contact and kind of hit that floor if you need to. Kind of, cradle like a little baby and drop down or whatever the case may be after you get your yard to slide, get out of bounds, throw the ball away. There's a million things you can do. There's a billion players who we've seen have successful careers, not making a living out of getting hit.
Look,
especially quarterbacks. So, I mean, let's just be smart and protect yourself and make the right decisions, regardless of what the Guardian cap on or not is where I'm at. Just to wrap it up, my bad, Wally.
Nah, you good. I was gonna say that I recall saying, man, if he needs to wear it, he should wear it, or whatever. But as you were talking, I'm thinking like maybe think about it. To me, it would have been more concerning on his career. How the news came out that he has to wear that in order to continue his career. You get what I'm saying? Like, he's at a point that he has to go to extreme measures to just to survive. So the concerns and the worries of him getting hurt, he has to wear that cap. So the fact that he doesn't have to wear that because he has a really, really safe helmet and whatnot, and he's got he has the proper channels to get the right information, makes you feel a little bit more comfortable than if I would have seen my quarterback out there with the hat on and you're like, yo, man, this kid he's just a hit away, man. A lot of it and you mentioned maybe it's just psychology for him. Maybe he doesn't want to be seen that way. But think about it, bro. Like you're watching him like, yo, he has that cap on. You're like, yo, man, he's really a hit away. And right now he could be still a hit away, but just the optics for him and for everybody, I think he chose that route within the proper information. So
we don't know if he's a hit away, right? It's Tua, because the hit that he took wasn't a hit that we would necessarily have expected the outcome we would have got. Like, we really just don't know, and that's the uncertainty with it, right? So the only way to remove that uncertainty, because the game of football is a violent sport that guys sustain a bunch of injuries all the time. The best way to avoid that is kind of eliminating those situations in totality. Don't put yourself in a situation where you got to lower your head into a guy, get what you're going to get and get to the ground. You know what I mean? Live to fight another day. Like, you can't make every play. And, I mean, he's going to have to learn that. I mean, we talked about this before. It's up to him now at this point. And we'll see what happens moving forward. I'm confident that he'll be able to execute a lot of the passing concepts that these other quarterbacks weren't. There's a lot of film of breakdowns of guys have done on the internet, content creators and everyone else, where they've shown the opportunities and the missed opportunities in the passing game that weren't taken advantage of. We've seen it for ourselves as well. You know what I mean? So I'm focused more so on that and him just playing smart and being the best version of himself. It might take him a little time. He's a rhythm guy, but we'll see. Maybe he comes out firing this week. What you guys thinking? Over 300 passing yards? Is that too lofty out the gate?
I'm gonna be the careful one and say a little bit under, but I think with the running game and establishing that running game will get you that 300. Listen, I'm not looking for him to be pass happy. I'm looking for them to take advantage of explosive plays that's gonna allow us to take the lead and continue to keep the lead. The running game should open up the passing game. It should, how we did it in these last two games, it should be what we do moving forward until Tua gets comfortable again and we do more passing contests. But you still want to run the ball because we've been doing it well. That I feel like right now that's the identity of our team. So, if he can get to 300, but we got to make sure that the running game allows us to do that because it will open up the passing game.
What do you think, Wally?
I got him. My floor is 225 with two tutties, to 285 with two tutties. One of those tutties gonna be a screen, little small screen, and one of them is gonna be a bomb with Tyreek. But I see him. I don't. If he throws 300, I wouldn't be shocked. But I think Mike has a game plan that is 200 him and 200 type stuff with the offense and running game and the time consuming and ball control.
Okay, so let's not go 300. I'm looking at a line right here for Tua at 239.5. Over or under?
I'm gonna go under
239.5. I'm gonna go under.
Really?
You know what? 239 for Tua. He might hit you with 245. I'm going over. Yeah, going over. 245. Yeah, 225 is light, man.
I just think they're gonna play efficient ball.
Do that in a quarter, really.
Well, you can do it in 2 plays, cuz.
Yeah, but it's weeks 8. He hasn't played since week 2.
Bro,
I just feel like they're gonna play quick.
That's 2 in a biscuit, though. You're not saying 300.
You might be right. You might be right, Junior.
Because I don't feel like Tua is just gonna come off and just pause and just rip it. Right. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna play efficient game. They're gonna get him in a rhythm. And I'm sure you don't want to showcase a whole bunch because you have the Bills game that you kind of want to.
What you're not understanding is that with the same Tyler Huntley plays, there's 350 to be had. It's there. Hold on.
Why? Go ahead.
Hold on.
Because I have a rebuttal for that.
You don't nobody trust Tyler Huntley for a play action read, but I trust Tua. And that I'm not saying 300 is almost as guaranteed as feasible, but those little chunk plays that he gives you with his quick reads, them 17s or 22-yard pops, they start adding up. So to me, 245 is feasible. 245, 225 is where I'm at. So I'm going over, dog.
You know why? You know why I say I understand why people saw what they saw with Huntley not taking the opportunities, but you got to remember, teams are looking at the quarterback and the backup as, hey, you're not going to be aggressive because you want to be as careful as possible. With Tua, it's going to be a different mindset. They are going to assume. Wait, hold on. They're going to assume Tua is going to be aggressive with the guys that we have in Tyreek and Waddle. So they're going to play things differently. They're going to be aggressive in guarding those two guys. Even though we saw that they're open with Huntley and wait, hold on. Even if they saw them open with Huntley and Skyler, they know that Skyler and Huntley are not going to take advantage of that because they're scared. They don't have the cohesion with the receivers, the timing and all that stuff. But with Tua, they know that it's gonna be anticipation. They're gonna bracket those guys. They're gonna do all the coverage to keep them away from Tua to getting explosive plays. That leaves OBJ, Jonnu, Achane. Those guys are gonna be open underneath to intermediate for you to take advantage. But that's why I say under 239. I'm just
What are you talking about? You just made my damn case. If he run the damn ball, just off, bro, just off getting our running backs them same plays that they were being successful at, I'm giving you to a 235 off just off that our muscle memory. And you're not doing nothing crazy. You're not going over the top. You're just taking these little chunk yards, boom, 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 boom. You're making quicker reads. Yo, Tyreek was open on slants. I'm bouncing high play action. Because if you're saying what you're saying is true, you're gonna save Tua from himself. You're not gonna give him an aggressive game. So you know what you do? You're gonna make him hand the ball over. And when you see the defense cheating, Tua can take advantage of that. Now, is he gonna take advantage to go 300? He could go 15. I don't know, dog. 235. Now I'm on the over. I'm in the over.
I think I'm gonna go under too, Jay.
Thank you. I'm gonna be by myself, standing alone once again. Under. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, you cowards. I believe. I'm
gonna go under because I think I need 200.
You need 225, really. You need that's why I said 225. It's the floor, 225. But since the over under is 240, it's 239. I'm gonna go with 245. So I'm going with the over.
I think we're gonna get the rushing game going big time. I think Jalen Wright is gonna have some big time runs this week. I think we're gonna have Mostert and everybody cooking. I think Mostert's gonna be running angry after that fumble last week. So I think we're gonna have a big time game running the football. So I do think there's a chance that Tua could go under, but I do think that there will be some explosive plays mixed in.
They will be.
I don't know how much he'll necessarily have to do, and we have to also factor in the way the defense has been cooking. We haven't necessarily seen them with a competent offense yet.
Right.
Even week one, Tua was kind of shaky first half, and then he kind of put it on, and then we saw what happened from there. They didn't score again. So in the second game against Buffalo, we didn't really, you know what I mean? That's a throwaway. We got to throw that one away. So
let me ask you guys a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
If you guys can the same things that makes a defense more aggressive or less aggressive with a different quarterback in order to make them not make those throws, make the same reason our running backs now will have higher chances, easier chances that our quarterback is back.
Right.
So that's where I'm at. If this running game is gashing you because Tua's back, you're gonna have to make an adjustment. And once you make that adjustment, I'm still gonna keep running the ball. But those little play action plays now, Tariq is a little bit more open. You see what I'm saying?
But I do think the Cardinals.
You make a good point. I'm conflicted now.
I do think the Cardinals defense is a bit better than the Colts, and I do think I don't see much yards.
I don't think they're passing. You know what I'm saying? I think the Colts have a better passing defense than the Cardinals.
Kenny Moore is a baller.
Yeah, they have a better pass defense. The Cardinals, their rush defense sucks. So like I said, dog, even with Tua being there, you're gonna have to make a commitment because if you believe that Tua's gonna be aggressive, you're gonna play two safety up to the top, whatever, two high safeties or whatnot. And the two high safeties, all right, that was the height. Hand the ball off. 6 yards, 6 yards, 4 yards, 3 yards, 4 yards, 6 yards, 20, 50,
extension
20.
of the run too is yeah.
So you're gonna start cheating because you have no choice but to cheat unless you're gonna be down by 1,000 cuts.
We got to talk about this more because there's some strong arguments. We'll talk about this on the back times because I'm on the cusp of over.
Yeah, you see the vision.
I wonder if that's a little low now because I do see the opportunities.
I'm telling you, the over is 240, 239. To me, it could be as low as 225 and as high as 285. With a 300 game, we'll be talking. We'll be singing praises. But to me, all I need from Tua is 225 to win this game. To be honest with you, but I see an easy path for 245, 285 easily. If that running game travels the way it traveled to the Colts, you're home. The fans are feeding you. Tua's back. Now you're making these cuts. Raheem Mostert's running angry. Everybody's running the ball better. With that, defense makes adjustments. And with that, you're subject to be killed with a little play action, little misdirection. Bro, like I said, it doesn't even have to be Tua throwing a deep pass. He could do a shuffle pass, and that's might go for 50 yards.
Yeah, you make a good point.
And guys, on that note, man, a lot to talk about. Definitely, we're gonna show you our prize pick betting odds to see where we end up going. Again, be sure to sign up for the prize pick. You play your first 5, you get the extra 50. Then you make debates like this, trying to figure out should you go over or under. So I'm telling you, man, it's a great deal to have, man.
Never
Guys,
forget, I stood
Yeah.
10 toes by myself. 10 toes by myself. Too. I never forget when you
Listen,
guys come back to this.
This is not
I
official.
stood 10 toes.
This
No,
is not
we
official.
official.
It's not official. It's not official. It's not official.
Not official. No, it's not official. All right.
We were just having conversations.
Right. Guys, any final thoughts before we head out of here?
What I will say is I'm happy that Tua's back. It's been rough. I'm still mad at Mike McDaniel for not getting us to 300 to 500, getting us to 3-3. So disappointed in him. But we move forward, man, and we'll see where this goes, man. And I hope that we get back on track. Simple as that.
1 week at a time. Fins for the win.
Thanks for the win. Guys, thank you again for watching 5 Reasons Sports. Be sure to subscribe. Just subscribe to the Inside Leverage. Check out the merch, man. It's hot, man. I'm telling you, you'll like it. And be sure to look out for more content for your head top. This is the guys from Inside Leverage. You guys have a wonderful evening. Fins for the win.